Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Daily Stock Market End of Day Update. And I'm starting with NASDAQ weekly chart. Focus on these two EMA lines. This is weekly chart. Each candlestick represents a week of price action. This is NASDAQ US tech stocks index, and focus on green and red lines. Okay, focus on how they come back in this zone between green and red line price action and then goes higher. It can come back again here, and I'm thinking most likely it's going to make a higher low. So worst case, it can go up to 14,990, and then that will be it. And then we're heading higher for new all-time high. Okay, you can see here in the past, this bull market was for 2020 to 2021. Just to show you how it is in the bull market, you can see whenever price goes far away from green line, comes back to test the green line. Sometimes it goes as low as getting to the bottom of red line, but I think it most of the time it just goes and stays between green and red line. You can see price came below on green line, bounce, came below on green line, bounce. Here it came closer to red line, then bounce, but at minimum it touches green line and then it bounces. Okay, if I go back more further, you can see same thing here. Here we had a little bit more dip. And this was bull market of 2019 to 2020, but usually we go there, gather energy, bounce, gather energy, bounce. If I even go even further out, you can see this entire since 2016 to 2018, 2 years bull market. You can see same thing here, come back here, bounce, buy here, bounce, buy here, bounce. So anyhow, so you got the idea. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I think we are following probably two paths. One path is green line, we're going higher. The other path is we will make a yellow line. We will make a higher low and then we go higher. Okay. And if I go to 1 hour chart, let me get rid of these lines, and you can see NDX still did not fill this gap. There are multiple gaps on the upside. 15,827 is the top gap. Then there is Fitch downgrade gap. This thing happened on 2nd of August, and this gap is still there, and then another gap here. This was around 6th of September. So 3 gaps from here. These 3 gaps can take from here till almost 3.07. Okay, and also I want to show you something. September is usually a bearish month for seasonality wise, so you can see what's happening on seasonality index just to get some idea. If you go to NDX seasonality chart, you can see September usually. You can see September, we are in the middle. Today is 13th and tomorrow is 14th. So we are right here, and we could expect a dump. So it could be around 2% dump from let's say tomorrow is PPI data coming around 8:30 Eastern. So if things are bad, they could start dumping. So be very careful here. It could also chop. So this is the area. So basically, at the end of the September, you're basically wherever you were towards the end of August. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And now going back here, let's go back to triple Qs, which is NASDAQ, which we used to trade. Let's go to daily chart. And you can see here what's happening. If I zoom in, you can see nicely here, we had this downward sloping trend line. We broke out, then we broke below that, and then we recovered, and yesterday was a back test, and now I think we're getting ready to go higher. As long as price is holding this white line, I think everything is good. So maybe I will extend this little bit here. Just to make it a bit better, something like that here. Yeah, here you go. Just want to make sure. Yeah, there you go, something like that. So you can see multiple touches of this, and now we are just back testing. It can go as low as here. You can see this white line. This is daily chart. It can still come around, let's say 369, let's say 370. So from today's close, if we are here around 370, around 1.21%. So tomorrow's PPI day. If they sell off and you're here around 370, that's very good area to buy. All right. And I think no matter how we go, I think I'm looking at new all-time high, which is above 404 at this time. So that's my target for end of this year. And so what I'm trying to tell you is look to buy all the dips and be very patient. Eventually we're going to go and go to new highs. All right. Let's quickly look at SPY. Let me quickly find SPY. Here you go. This is S&P 500 cash index. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can let me get rid of this. Let me go to regular trading hours. You can see multiple gaps here. So this gap is still left, and there's another gap. So 2 gaps here. So from today's close, the first gap is around 6.61% away. Second gap is around almost 2.1% away. 449.14 and 456.18. These are the 2 gaps. Those are our targets. All right. And yeah, everything is good. Let's bring another indicator, EMA lines, just to get some more idea on how things are looking. You can see it's struggling to close, so you can focus on this red line, which is 50 SMA line, and then yellow line is 50 EMA line. So you can see price action is now, if I zoom in a bit, it's more clear this way. You can see it's between 50 EMA, which is yellow line, and 50 SMA. I really want to see this close above this red line, 50 SMA line. If that does not happen, then we might come all the way back to this this yellow line around 443 and then go higher. All right. So just be mindful of that. But anyhow, I'm looking for new highs on S&P 500 as well. Let's look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones, you can see if I zoom in, same scenario here between both EMA lines, 50 EMA and 50 SMA. And it's right in the middle. It needs to break out one way or the other. There's a gap above around 351.72, and also there's a gap around 338.80. So it's right in the middle, and we will see there's no advantage to bulls or bears here. IWM, very bearish close. It's below this this support trend line. But it's finding support right on this 200 EMA, which is this blue line, dark blue line. Right on this support it found. So let's see, it really needs to hold, and I really want to see IWM go back above this trend line. Until I see that, I think it's going lower. And also there are multiple gaps to the top as well. There's also this massive gap around 175. If I hide these this indicator, you can see clearly massive gap here. So who knows, maybe September, because it's going to be bearish, they might come back down, fill this gap around 4%, then go higher. It also going to be depend on S&P 500 and NASDAQ, how they want to handle. So this will just tag along. By the way, guys, there is a free Discord server chat room. If you're watching this video, link is in the description. You can join. It's free. I usually provide snapshot of daily charts, and you can request any special charts. Also, there's a subscription. If you want to ask me a particular question, you want me to reply to your comments, you can subscribe. It's just like $6 or $7 a month, which is very, very cheap. And one trade, you can see in Discord server how I made so much profit in like last couple of days. I share trades, I share zones before pre-market, so you guys are prepared during the day what to buy. All right. Okay, all right. So once now I got that going. So gold, you can see right on support. Sorry, right on resistance. You can see it was, if I zoom out, it was resistance here, broke out, was support, then broke down again, tried to break out, and now again finding resistance. The gap here is around 1870. That's my target for gold to fill. Silver, again, very close to the trend line here. So this is where you want to buy silver. Let's bring in some moving averages and see how this thing is coming along. It's below all moving averages, but silver can do one day, one big red green candle, and it can just recover very fast. But this is objective area to buy right on support. All right. Natural gas by the dip. Let me hide this so it's clear. Natural gas is by the dip and looking very bullish. So just look to buy all the dips. This is the trend line. So any dips on this trend line, you can draw a trend line like this on your chart. Look to buy on this trend line. All right. Crude oil, massive moves, going to a big resistance now. So keep looking very bullish. If I bring EMA lines, you can see crude oil is so far away from actually this white line. So it usually comes back. Every time it goes far away, it comes back to this white is 20 EMA. So if you get any pullback, it's by the dip. Also, there's a support here around $84. So very good time to buy on all the dips you get. Dollar is finding resistance where it should. And you can see here clearly, you can see this whole area was resistance. It broke out, and then again it started becoming resistance and still not able to recover, which is a good sign for gold, Bitcoin, and overall stock market, because it's inverse correlation. If dollar sell-offs, other commodities go up. Bitcoin, nothing changed. Green dot is still I got yesterday, and now green line is above red line. Everything is looking good. I think it's moving hard towards this 32K resistance from today's close. We are almost around 15% away. Okay, so don't be too bearish on Bitcoin yet. Let's see. Tomorrow PPI data around 8:30 a.m. Eastern could change it, but let's see. Again, here this is Ethereum, same thing here, resistance, broke out, resistance, and now again in the support zone. I might be able to draw this a little bit differently, the support line on Ethereum. I don't have the cleanest of support line, but maybe like this, just to make sure we cover the worst case. Maybe I'll go with this for now. But yeah, it's right in the support zone. And I did get also on Ethereum green dot, and also you can see if I zoom in PP on RSI, now green line is above red line, which is very good symbol. And Ethereum is also looking good. The next resistance on Ethereum is around here, around $22,000, let's say. So from today's close, it could go as up as 24%. Apple is breaking down, but it's right on support where it should be. Broke below this trend line. Actually, I should maybe get rid of this trend line because it's not valid anymore. So, and let's bring in moving averages. It's below all moving averages. There's a gap here around 166. So let's see if Apple wants to come all the way down to 166 to fill. But this is also a good support because this is where we bounced just last time. So we might be ready for a bounce from here. All right. So don't be too bearish on Apple. Tesla holding this support very nicely. Nothing changed here. You can see nice support line, but there's a massive gap around 248.96. It will be filled, but it doesn't need to fill now. There's a gap up. There's a gap down. Upper gap here, you can see around 291, and bottom gap is around 250. So if it fills upper gap, look to take profits. If it comes down to fill bottom gap, look to buy. All right. Microsoft, you can see Microsoft is struggling still. It's up 1.2%, but not able to go above this trend line. Let's bring in moving averages and see if we get any other clues. So Microsoft is looking good. Actually, it's now closed above all moving averages. You can see all moving averages. Microsoft is looking really bullish, which is good sign for NASDAQ and S&P 500 because this is one of the big components in the index. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Microsoft is looking good. Google also not bad. You can see Google, if I zoom in here, you can let me hide this. It's clear that way. You can see this is better now. You can see Google broke out, backtested support, and now just holding it there. The other gap right now on Google is around 141, and that's my target at minimum. So we'll see. Google is looking good so far. Meta also holding this trend line, nothing changed, looking for these gaps. So 332.62 is the target. Amazon very, very, very bullish, and it's closed this gap. So delete this. I think I should wait this gap here, delete this. Let's go to 1 hour chart and see if there's anything else. This gap is there at the bottom. It doesn't need to fill right now. It's above trend line. Everything is looking bullish, and the next gap is now around 163. So let's see how fast it can go. Netflix, really, really bearish candle, and I got this green dot today. Almost down, or what, 5.616. It was at one point down almost 5.5%, 6%. But you can see it's now below this trend line. I'm gonna be only bullish when we recover this trend line. It's below all moving averages. The others last support is around these 200 EMA and 200 SMA. There's a gap around 380.04. If I hide this, this is gap around 380.04. Wait for it to fill that gap. It might come down since we got now green line up above red line and red dot. So it looks like there will be some more pressure on Netflix. Snowflakes, looks like some gaps are filled. Let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is filled. Now there's another gap downside. It might come back, fill this gap before it can go higher to fill other gaps. So just be mindful of that. NVDA looking okay, still below this trend line. And let's bring in those moving averages to see if we can get some idea. And it's holding this 50 EMA, okay? And it's above this 50 SMA both lines, so which is good close from NVIDIA's point of view. AMD moving all below moving averages, all of them, but now it's trying hard. Actually, it just closed above 10 MA, which is first good sign. So let's see if AMD can pick up some momentum here. And again, it needs to reclaim this white trend line. Okay, so it's a little bit far to go, but it's doable, yeah. And let's look at bonds by the dip. Okay, TLT by the dip. Copper just consolidated by the dip in copper. Palladium also bouncing from extremely strong support here, now bouncing. Wheat massive move up, almost 1.3%. At one point it was almost 2% up, and you can see I was telling you you need to buy on support. This was a perfect stop rate, and now I think we're getting ready to go higher on wheat. Let's bring in moving averages and see. Still a lot of separation, so it can go at minimum come to around 630 before it can explore again. So let's see how it goes. Corn also trying its best with some bullish divergence on PPO and RSI. I think corn is getting ready for a massive pump. Soybeans right in the support buy zone where it should be, so looking good. This is where you want to buy soybeans. Sugar looking extremely bullish, trying to go to new all-time high. There's some divergence. I still don't have a new high, so if you get a new high, there could be some divergence. So be very careful taking profits. You should be looking to take profits if you got as soon as possible. Let's look at miners. Newmont mine up 1.13% right in 52 weeks low time frame, right in the support zone. I think it's good. We're getting ready to explore sometime soon. Gold miners, still this gap is not filled. $28 is my target, which I will think to get on. Until that happens, I'll just relax. XLK 0.25, Apple is major component, so let's see if it can bottom out here. Let's bring in moving averages. You can see it's below even 50 EMA, which is not a good sign. So let's see if we can close above. We can close above this this gap here. That will be the target. XLE energy by the dip. You can see maybe I'll adjust it like this. So multiple gaps are down. So look to buy all the dips. Healthcare looks like holding a gap down, a gap up. So if it comes down, because S&P 500 have weak seasonality around September, look to buy on the tags of this this trend line here. XLU 1.2% up, which is awesome. So those who are following me, they know I was telling you. You can see this, it's reclaiming this another resistance here. So if I draw another box here, you can see here this whole area. This was a big resistance before too, right? So now looks like it's going above that, which is a good sign. So XLU is looking very solid. If I bring all the SMA, EMA lines, it's trying its best. It's trying its best to have a V-shaped recovery and recover. The only thing you need to worry about is there's this big gap left, and that gap will be filled at some point. I don't know when. And this is XLI Industrials looking. It was at one point almost 1.5% down, but it recovered nicely throughout the day. So I think there's a gap down, gap up. So let's see. I think the odds are in favor to go higher than go lower. Real estate sector coming very close to this trend line. This is why you want to buy real estate sector, and also there's a gap around $36 or 0.04. So you should place an order for that price. And I think it looks like it will fill. So that gap fills, then it can try to take over this above gap around 37.92. Financials holding this trend line. Look to buy the dip. There's a gap here around 34.32. If it comes and fill this gap, look to buy it there. And real estate sector, KRE, regionally real estate bank, also there's a gap here still not filled. So if it falls around 42.41, look to buy KRE as well. And let's quickly look at UPS and see how it did today. 0.8%. Let me add moving averages. You can see it's consolidating. This is the area of massive support, multiple gaps on the yellow. So a lot of room. So this is where we want to see. I want to see a little bit more consolidation. That's the bottom forming pattern before it goes higher. All right. Okay, so let's now try to look at levels for tomorrow's trade. Those who are subscribed to my channel, they will know these first thing in the morning because they do change. But let's quickly look at where we are on major indexes. S&P 500 right in the middle, which is neutral zone. Let me actually get rid of this another indicator in the middle so it's easier for you guys to see. So you can see S&P 500 right in the middle, okay, in the neutral zone. And let me add extended hours also here so it's easier and better. And you can see NASDAQ 100 now above neutral zone, getting closer to sell zone. So if it opens around, let's say PPI, let's say PPI comes hotter than expected and they sell off, look to buy in green lines. If they pop as a fake out move, look to sell here. Okay, so 15,444 and above, look to sell. US 30 is in the middle, no trade zone. US 2000, which is now bouncing from the buy zone. I think there's still a lot of room to go on US 5000. All right. Gold bouncing from the buy zone. Silver, let's look at silver. It's in the middle, which is a no trade zone. And natural gas also getting closer to sell zone. So look to sell above 2.91. Crude oil looks like it's in the middle after a massive move up for last couple of days. It's just consolidating. And Bitcoin, you can see getting closer to the buy zone, 25,848 and below, look to buy. Ethereum, look for the buy zone around 1586 and below. Look to buy Ethereum, but this is a perfect area to short, which happened here. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Let's quickly look at VIX daily chart and see how things are going along on VIX. So let me hide this indicator before I buzz off. This gap, VIX was down 5%, but this gap is still not filled. You can see my projection. So maybe we'll have another good sell-off on VIX. So that will be better for equity markets. And if that gap is filled, around 13.1, that's your target to exit all the profits. Okay, around 3.2% still away. All right, guys, if you're still here, please hit the like button on your way out. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.